I think James Comey should shut up. Yeah, it's not every day that you see somebody hate both Edward Snowden and James Comey, but that's me. I'm all over the place. I don't have a master. I go after whoever I want to. Okay. But really, Snowden and Comey, they have some eerie similarities. They both are hopelessly naive, but they think that they're fighting for what's right with America. They both think they're patriots, and they're both pretty useless, and they're both fame whores. Okay, with Comey, you just see this guy everywhere. Like he's all over the news, and they're interviewing him, and he's always got that, like he's the modern day Abe Lincoln kind of thing going, like the gravitas going on, and he's just so full of himself. And he's some 1950s superhero, the modern day Superman fighting for truth and justice in the American way, and it's all bullshit. Okay, it's so phony. He didn't do a damn thing until Trump fired him. Okay, so to me, a patriot is not somebody who waits to get put out on their ass and then they start doing something. He was happy that Trump was elected. He helped Trump get elected. That's the first thing. Is like, okay, he has buyer's remorse, like probably a lot of Republicans have buyer's remorse, but he was a Republican that Obama appointed. And during the 2016 campaign, Hillary, like, the FBI hated her, okay, and Comey didn't really help and do anything like that. But the CIA was saying, "Hey, Russia's trying to hack this election." Different intelligence agencies, they were saying, "How come nobody's told us anything before the election?" They did. The CIA did, and some other intelligence agencies did, but the FBI didn't. Comey refused to believe the Russians were meddling in that election. He didn't do anything. He didn't release any press statements, and the memo that he released. 2 weeks before the race or whatever it was, that said, because of some things on Anthony Weiner's computer, we're reopening the Clinton investigation. The Hillary campaign shows poll numbers that shows that she went down in those key states. People were like, oh God, this is one more scandal. And we know Hillary, and scandal follows her like the plague. I mean, it's just like a bad penny, keeps turning up, and this is just going to follow her throughout her presidency. And she specifically mentions him in what happened. She says she lost the race. I mean, if she had to pick three big people, people talked about the Bernie passages. She actually only mentions Bernie about a half dozen, 10 to 10 times, something like that. But she really didn't put a lot of blame on him. I think she really blamed more James Comey and Vladimir Putin and Julian Assange. And I mean, I don't know if Comey should think about that. Like, hey, I'm in the same category as Putin and Assange and now Trump, who everybody thinks is a traitor. But he is his FBI director. Trump doesn't like some things that he's doing. He won't prosecute certain people, or he won't swear loyalty to him that he won't prosecute him. But when Comey got fired, that was the best thing that ever happened to the resistance. It really was. That brought in Mueller and the independent investigation. I think Mueller's made way more progress than Comey would have under the same situation. And it gave Mueller kind of an excuse to broaden the scope and say maybe there's some collusion, and especially Trump goes on Lester Holt and's like, yeah, I fired Comey because of the Russia thing. Oh, no, I didn't. What? And then they go back and take that back. But it let him broaden the scope, and I think him getting shit canned was the best thing that ever happened to us. And so it's more than a little phony to see him out there now, the picture of moral courage and quiet dignity, and he got fired, and now he's written a book, and he's going to paint himself as like me and Trump. We hit loggerheads. He didn't resign. He never came out publicly as FBI director and said a bad word about Trump. He waited. I mean, he waited a long time until it was just too late to do anything. Comey cost Hillary the race. He's the reason we have Donald Trump. Him getting fired is the best thing that ever happened to us because it brought in Mueller. I think that let him broaden the scope, and it gave law enforcement like, okay, there might be something to this. And it also increased the animus between Trump and the intelligence agencies and the law enforcement and the Justice Department. He's kind of against the rest of the federal government right now in some of the law enforcement and intelligence branches. And it's only I like Michael Hayden said this on Real Time. It was like the Congress is helping Trump when they're supposed to be checking him, and the federal government that he's in control of, they're the ones that don't like him the most. So people that know you the best hate you the most. And maybe that's the case in James Comey. If we really knew this guy, we probably wouldn't like him as much as we think we do.